So today we're going to learn how to make money with ChatGPT by creating your own YouTube script writing service. Let me just be very direct with you so I don't waste your time. If you're looking to make a quick buck, this is not for you. There's a lot of competition out there, so you need to be serious, okay? If you're serious, then let's dive into this. Okay, so how do we do this? First off, let's go here. Let's understand the opportunity. You need to know what are the needs and the pain points. First, if you're going to be doing this, what are the needs and the pain points of this? And is this even in demand? There's a lot of people using ChatGPT, so is this too saturated? Is it in demand? Yes, it is. Is it saturated? Depending on how you go about it. So look, let's examine this. When we're talking about every YouTuber, because they're going to be your target audience. When we're talking about a YouTuber, this is somebody who's making YouTube as their business, not as a hobby. That's a huge thing that you have to understand immediately. If you're saying, you know what, I'm going to provide this service, the script writing service to these YouTubers, but they're not the individuals aren't making any money, they're aspiring to be YouTubers, and then you're not going to convert. You're not going to get anybody to really purchase your services. Okay, so you need to understand you're targeting YouTubers who are already making money, or maybe starting to make money, or they're already starting to see some traction. And so when we come to, is this an actual need or problem? If it's not an actual need or a problem, then it's not going to be something that people are going to be willing to pay for. So how do we validate that? This is how you do it right here. So first, you need to know that every YouTuber needs ideas, titles, hooks, scripts, some need series formats, and then voice and tone consistency. Now, I'm not saying this from theory or because I asked ChatGPT. I'm an actual content creator. I built my own travel brand to 600,000 followers, 130 million views, and created hundreds of viral videos, okay? These are the pain points. This is the process that content creators have to do if they want to be successful content creators. So these are all the problems that you'll be able to solve. So it's essential, but creators hate having to do this. I hate having to do this. It's a long process, but it's necessary if you don't just want it to be a hobby. The first thing that you do need to do is you need to be able to figure out the specific content creator or the niche that you want to particularly focus on. So let's do this together. Before even creating this, let's go to YouTube and let's say that you want to target content creators who are in the travel space. So you will say top places to travel to around the world. Okay, around the world. And then you have all of these individuals. You can look and choose from here. So we got this one, we got Ryan, we got Kevin. These are people who are using their own names, so it seems more personable. Walters. Okay, cool. So you could do it like this, or you can actually, where's the filter? You go to channel. You just look for the channel. So you could look for the individuals through their channel or through the videos. Personally, I like to look through the videos. And so I have already 3 people here. And so if you want to target these individuals, live, okay, cool, he's using live now. So if you want to target these individuals, cool. So now the question goes back to, these are the things that every YouTuber needs, and you want already identified that you want to, in this example, target content creators who are in the travel space because they need to consistently create content. Granted, anybody who's full-time on YouTube needs to consistently create content. It's not just travel creators. So now when you think about travel creators, that's your target audience. So you think, okay, they need ideas, titles, hooks, scripts, series formats, voice and tone. I'm going to be providing it to people in this space. Now, it does not necessarily mean that you're going to be providing it to these 3 individuals. This just gives you an example. And so you can pitch to these individuals, or you could pitch to other people in the travel space. So the first thing is, how do you come up with ideas? So there's 2 ways to do it. One, you could be very general, and you could go to ChatGPT and say the following, or something similar. Hey ChatGPT, what I want to be able to do is I want to create content for, I want to be able to create ideas for content creators in the travel space, specifically on YouTube. And their main problem is that they have to create consistent travel content without blending in with everybody else, having their content actually relevant, and potentially having viral fit. Okay, so I need you to give me some ideas on what I can provide these individuals with, because I'm going to be creating like YouTube scripts for them. And let's see what ChatGPT says. This is the easiest way for you to do it. Okay, so it gives you some examples here. Examples of viral angles. This is what travelers get wrong about X. This is what $50 buys you in. Okay, so it's giving you a whole bunch of ideas, which is great. So with this, you can then validate it. Is this something that people are actually searching for? Because yeah, GPT is just giving you ideas, but you need to validate those ideas. So the first one is, this is what travelers get wrong about. So let's put that into YouTube. This is what travels get wrong about. Okay, no one's actually searching for that. So this means that this is more for, I should specify as well, you also have to determine how you're going to be, what method you're actually going to be using. You can use YouTube for reach, or you could use YouTube for search. Now, reach means that you create a video that's most likely going to be triggered by the algorithm, or you create a script for the person who's going to create a video that is going to be trying to target the algorithm to push the video out. That's one way. That's through virality or reach. The other way is through search. These are people who are specifically searching for that thing, and you're trying to target those keywords or phrase. It's very clear that nobody is searching for, this is what travelers get wrong. It says this is what travelers want. Okay. So maybe not the best thing. Let's see what $50 buys. What 50 series buys. Where to find cheap flights. Where to buy. What to buy with look, this is very specific. What to buy with $250. Okay? So this shows, oh, but this is more the tech, right? Oh, this has nothing to do with travel. Yeah, that's another good point. What $50 can buy. Yeah, so this probably wouldn't be the best here. Unless you do something like travel with only $50, with only $10. Let me put $1. Travel with only $1. How many travel only with $1? I traveled. Spending. I love that I'm doing this here in real time because this is what it takes. It's not that easy. That's why I told you in the very beginning. If you want something to make a quick buck, it's probably easier just to get a quick part-time job somewhere, because this actually takes some research. So this is something that, again, like people wouldn't search for this. Nobody's searching for $1 versus 250,000, but you can see you got nearly 400 million views. So you have to determine for you, because I'm not saying that this won't be a good video, but this is not what people are searching for. Okay, so it seems like what ChatGPT is giving us are things that people are not searching for, but they could actually find real value from it. I know for sure a lot of people would enjoy this. I travel like a local for 24 hours. Let me see if anyone's searching for that, and then we're gonna move on so that we're not too stuck on this aspect. I travel to all. So that's another thing that you can do. You can take what ChatGPT has put, like I did in the beginning. I just grabbed that section of what $50 buys, but here I just put I traveled. So I traveled to all 7 continents with no money. Okay, this is more like a series. I traveled to, series import. So I travel to X country, I travel to a continent, I travel to a particular state with no money. People are already I'm surprised why people would search this. I traveled to all 7 continents with no money. Maybe it was a series. No, I think it's because it's kind of trending, right? Interesting. No, this guy seems to have done a lot of content on it. Okay, cool. So this makes sense, right? You can take this. This is a really good idea because people are already searching. They're kind of interested in traveling somewhere with no money. And in this case, that somewhere is 7 continents. Okay, so let's move on. So these are great things. You can take this and say, for example, one idea would be to create a series of I travel like a local for 24 hours, or I travel to X place with no money. The reason why this is good is not because just ChatGPT told me. The reason is because I'm seeing that this is popping off on YouTube. I'm seeing that just when I typed in I travel to, that's like all 7 continents with no money is exactly what I'm finding. So we can actually create content about similar to this, but without you necessarily having to, because you don't want to propose that the creator travels to all these places. But you can brainstorm with them, or you can give them some ideas on why you came to that conclusion. Because they probably wouldn't know this, because you're actually doing the work for them. And this is why it's also good, because if you're going to travel one of these big players, they may not respond to you. So if you're like right now we're talking about the travel industry in itself, this is something that you can pitch to every single creator that's actually based on data, so that you're not wasting your time and they can actually validate it themselves. Okay, so that's one way to actually do it. So that's voice is the reason I put voice here is just to describe what you're seeing. So another way to get an idea, which is not so quick and easy, is if you would go and watch, let's say, this video. So you watch, how long is this? It's a 15-minute video. Let's say you watch the whole entire thing. Then you go on to ChatGPT. Say, hey, ChatGPT, I saw this 15-minute video. This guy highlights X, Y, Z. I think he's kind of well suited to explain things related to Europe because he has a lot of experience there, or because of whatever you saw in the actual video. Okay, and you can discuss it, right? You can say it all right there with ChatGPT, and this way it's a little more personable to that particular creator's content because you saw the content and you're referencing the content while talking to ChatGPT. So those are two different ways that you could provide ideas to content creators. Now let's move on to title. There's several different ways that you can do this as well. So for titles, you can either get it from competitors. So a great example is here, right? We got some titles here from competitors that are actually working and doing pretty well. We can also go here and say, actually, let's see 3 things every traveler. Let's see if we could get more. 3 things are emotional. Very general, right? Because it doesn't start off like being a title that's intuitive to travel. So maybe you could put travel to. Let's just choose a country then. Travel to the United States in an RV, in a van. We'll keep your daydream. Okay, so you could do it like that. The other way is that you can actually, because this is very specific, this is traveling the US in an RV, right? So maybe the creator that you're targeting does no content on the US and definitely not in an RV setting. That's not the point. The point is that you go and you figure out what are some good title ideas, what are some titles that are actually popping that even though if they're not directly competing with the target content creator that you're aiming for, they're still having content here that makes sense. So Hamptons, not what we thought. We find slow down. Let's see, most popular. Okay, specific to RV. Okay, cool. Look at this. You could do this. So RV newbie setup checklist. This got 1 million views in 6 years. But this is a good title. You could then apply it to that creator and say whatever that they're actually focusing on, setup checklist, maybe 2026. Top 5 costs unexpected expensive for RV life. So let me just give an example here. Let's do this in real time. This guy traveled. Let's say this is the person that I want to actually help, for example. Okay, so let me see his content. Top. Okay, there's a lot of top stuff here. Okay, popular. Okay, so he's a top guy. All right, we got this here. So with this, what I would do. Top. Okay. I mean, I guess that's what he's focusing on, right? Let me see latest content. It's still no. That one's not it. Top 25 Tokyo. Best high. Okay, so it's not always just top. He's got best, but it's still like the things I guess that you that are like a must do. This seems like more like a travel guide. Okay, so I got that. Now, totally irrelevant in regards to what he's doing. He's definitely not in competition with this individual. But setup checklist. So if there's a setup checklist, maybe I can say, okay, what's a top performing video that can use a setup checklist? Top 10 for Utah. This one, road trips. This easy, right? Road trips. You got top 10 road trips, and you can combine that with the setup checklist for road trips or setup checklist for the road trips in the United States. So this is US, right? Yeah. So the setup checklist or my setup checklist, your setup checklist for taking a road trip in the US or top 210 USA road trips or top 10 USA road trips setup checklist, things of that nature. Do you see what I'm saying? Right now, what I'm showing you here is how to actually do this. I'm not providing you a system. Hey, take this template, use this template, and you're always going to be able to provide content and ideas. If it's like this is going to be very easy for everyone. It's not like that. So that's an example of what I would do. This is a very good example of how to get titles. Other ways, channels. So you do the same thing that I did, but you would just go and you look for specific channels on the search rather than videos. I was looking through different videos and then found the channels, which you could look at it through the channels. Said industry, right now I'm looking at travel, but for example, what I could do is have something that's totally unrelated to travel, and let's say how to cook. I don't even know what this is, so let's click on it. How to cook that, all right? We got this individual, let's see their videos, totally unrelated to travel to some extent, right? How to make meat pie, let's see, so if I'm this individual, where is he?
Coming up on Lloyd and Man.
No. Yeah, if I'm this individual and I want to figure out what are some title ideas, some pieces of content that relate to travel, but are also kind of takes the virality of another industry or another sector. What I would do is, let's see, because we got USA, right? Oh, okay. Special chicken pie, right? Top 10 road trips. Top 10 Utah. Let me see, top 10 Utah. Special chicken pie. You got special chicken pie. What you can do is, if I'm creating that, top 10, I can do, see, he's got 10 top 10 places in Utah that aren't national parks. I can do, and I'm just making this up for right now, I don't actually know if this is true, but let's say for the special chicken pie, top 10 places in Utah to get special chicken pie, or top 10 special chicken pie restaurants in Utah. I can also, if this creator, for example, doesn't live in Utah anymore, or if he's never lived in Utah, he can also take the content. Let me see his content. Yeah, what he can also do, because he seems like he's got a lot of B-roll footage. I don't know if this is from his own trip or elsewhere. It seems like it is from his own trip. He can actually use the same footage that he has. He probably has additional footage beyond this because he had to edit it or someone had to edit it. So he probably has a lot more footage. What he can do with this is that he can then take this footage, incorporate it with the special chicken pie, and mention it here. For example, I don't know what he's saying, but in Utah, you could go to this place, and while you're here, there's also a restaurant in this area known for a special chicken pie. That's different because usually you don't see that. You don't see that type of combination. When I see travel videos, they're just on travel and the actual locations and the B-rolls specifically like this. They don't usually mention, come here, this is the travel, plus here's a plugin, this restaurant or X restaurant. This will be a very unique angle because in this top 10, every top 10 would mention something about special chicken pie. So look, this is just an example. You can clearly do this for other foods or other areas that are not related to travel at all. But this is how you could create different titles and also target areas that people are not necessarily either typing on search, but they are interested in, or they do have an interest, like in a certain part, in a particular food and particular destinations, but usually people don't mix the two together, but it can be amalgamated. And their channel titles, you can also just, this is the easiest because they could do it themselves, so I don't really recommend it. You could go to this guy and say, hey, hey, Kevin, I saw your videos and I have an idea for you. What about top 20 things in Barcelona? I'm pretty sure he could have thought about that himself. So I wouldn't do that. Hooks. For the hooks here, you could do it in different ways. One, you can go to their... this is why it doesn't matter how long their videos are. You can literally watch 10 of their videos and only watch 30 seconds of 10 of their videos to be able to understand the hook that they use. Now, what you would do for this is you could go to other competitors, like these guys. You can watch, what I would do honestly is I would watch 10 of their videos, 10 of his videos, 10 of his videos, and only watch 30 seconds. I really only care about that hook. And what I will be able to see is, okay, what is this person saying? Why are they saying it? How can I integrate it to what Kevin is saying? I can also then go to this person, anything related to food. That's rice cooking. I'm going to wait for a moment. You could go to other channels that are related to food and see how they present the hook. Then you'll go into a document here and you put all the hooks that you found. This is a manual way, but this is also something that people do not want to do. You'll do that, and then you'll have different hooks that you could then integrate to that person's content, so it's actually relevant. Your idea, if you already saw that person's content, or you maybe have a particular knowledge in their field or another field that you think could work well, then you can mention it to them. And then, of course, trending topics. Trending topics, this is anything related. You just go to the YouTube page after, for mine, it's blank. I put that intentionally. But if you go to YouTube and you put travel, then what you'll do is that on the homepage, you'll eventually see like a lot of different travel videos popping up. But you actually don't have to rely on just the travel page because you can click here and then just look at the suggested. This is actually going to be easier for you because it's going to show. So when you look there, you can say, okay, cool. So these are the hooks that they have, and then you could type it. All right. Again, this is a long video, but it's a long video for a reason. So that's that. Now, when it comes to the actual script, this is where it gets more technical. Now, you can provide them a script by being able to go to ChatGPT. Wow, I have a lot of tabs up. You could go to ChatGPT, and actually, let's use that great example that I gave about the special chicken pie. So based on all the data that you collected, you can actually use that data. I'm recording. You can actually use that data and provide to ChatGPT, for example. So ChatGPT right now, I'm looking at an account, a travel account from a guy named Kevin, just Kevin. And he creates videos about travel, adventure, hiking outdoors, and van life. When I was looking through his content, he creates a lot of like top 10 videos, top 10 about particular states, particular countries, top 25s, bucket lists, top 50 hikes that you could do in the US, top 50 hikes, top 10 hikes, top 10 places to visit. He also focuses a lot on hikes and being in like the natural environment, rather than like touristy spots that people always go to, like top 10 things to do in Manhattan. He's not really doing that. So what I want you to do is I want you to keep that in mind. And I also saw that on another account, this lady focuses on food, on how to cook different types of food. Oh, I can't find it. On different types of food, like a special chicken pie. So she focuses on special chicken pie. Some even focuses on pizza. You know, great pizza, great foods. What I need to do is I need to be able to create a script that kind of blends the two, because there's a lot of people creating top 10 content, and I'm sure that this guy Kevin, if he wants to continue to grow, that doing a top 10 only is probably not going to be the fastest way for him to grow. And so I want to mix it with food content. Can you give me some example scripts of how we can mix and integrate what he's doing in addition to other content like food, and see how we can integrate it? Oh, it's here, that's why. And let's see what ChatGPT says. Okay. Hike reward series. Interesting. But introduces food in a natural way. The reward. Look at that. That's interesting. The reward meal after a tough hike. I hiked X mountain just to eat the most iconic dish locals swear by. Interesting. Okay, yes. I come to some food just to eat a dish. Now, this is the main thing, is the dish, right? So, yeah, he can do that. The other thing that he can do, this is actually really good. This is really good. Because here he can also probably have like a sponsored opportunity with said restaurant. Travel food legends. Let's see. Origin story behind the dish deeply connected to a place. The secret food every hiker in Utah knows about. This is really good. So, van life cooking. He doesn't really, does he? I haven't really seen van content. Hikes that taste like, if this show were a dish, here's what it would taste like. That seems a little cheesy. Food. So here's the thing. They're giving you a lot, right? So you can sort through this. Some of them are really good ideas. This one's pretty cheesy. So, I would look through it and determine which ones you're going to pitch. Because at the end of the day, when you're offering this service, you're going to then have to pitch it to these travel creators, and it has to be good. I know if I would have gotten this would have been fantastic. I mean, if I got a pitch like this saying, hey, look at this script right here, what you can do is do the hike reward series, I'll be like, dude, I didn't even think about that. Thank you so much. This is really good. Okay, so there's so many different ways that you can focus on scripts. That's just one way to do it. Let's move on. Actually, series formats. This is very good because ChatGPT just gave us a series format without us even asking about it. The hike reward series. The person here, Kevin, could easily make I hiked whatever mountain. It seems like this guy has hiked a lot of mountains. I hiked X mountain just to eat at X place, or just to try X dish and maybe showcase a lot of different restaurants, for example. So this is actually really good. So you could do this by series. a top series. The guy already has it, right? So actually, this is actually really good. Top series. He's already doing that. But the thing is that a top series is not unique. Anybody could create a top 10, top 20 series. It's not unique. He's doing pretty well for himself, but for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, especially with AI coming into the scene, just doing these top videos, I don't know, because there's going to be a lot of people doing it as well, okay? But if you integrate maybe a double, like the top series with a reward, and now you create a I height, let me see. Well, that wouldn't be a top, right? But you can say, he can compile it. He can have a top places I hiked in said country just to eat XYZ dishes. You can do that as well. And that's really interesting because now he takes two things that would normally be separate, like a top 10 series of hiking and a top, not a top, but a general eating and showcasing food topic, and he's blending it together. That could be a very smart move. And then voice and tone consistency. So when you create, this is primarily important for the script. I mean, that's what you're going to be providing. You need to make sure that the script is actually similar to the person's voice. So the best thing that you could do is do the did I say subtitles? I'm sorry, not subtitles, a script. What you would do is that you would get the script from the actual creator. So you can watch a video from this guy. Let's see, top 10 Utah again. Okay, so you could do this here, and let's just play the video for, actually, no, it's gonna be too long. You can watch the video, hear exactly how he's talking, and you can put it here. Okay, so this guy, he talks about hiking, and he speaks kind of like XYZ. I'm sorry, I wish I could give you more examples, but I would have to watch the whole entire video, and I don't think that's relevant right now. So you could do that. The other thing that you can do is you could take the transcript from this video and simply copy and paste it onto ChatGPT and say, hey, look, I love that you gave me the script. I need you to rewrite the script in exactly the tone and voice of this transcript that I got from the actual creator. And then it will rewrite it in that creator's voice. So look, this is exactly what you need to do. These are the pain points and exactly how you can solve these pain points for content creators and how you can make money with ChatGPT by providing a YouTube script writing service to content creators. Now, keep in mind, this takes work. This takes work. It's not easy. The next challenge that you're gonna have to go through, which I didn't really explain here, and it's for a completely different video because it's gonna take way too long. It's obtaining clients. You got everything. You got the idea profile. Great. How are you going to obtain clients? You could do it through Fiverr, Upwork, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, email, intros, X. There's a lot of different ways to do it. But again, that's outside the scope of this video. And that's it. So keep in mind, you're likely not going to be a millionaire by doing this, but it is good to get an additional source of income. As you probably know, there's a lot of companies firing so many people because of AI, and people just don't, like, workers don't know how to respond to this. And the best thing, especially going forward, is that you need to be able to have an additional income source so that when or if your job fires you, you're not just like, well, I just have to live on savings and become poor. You need to have an additional savings. Yeah, savings would be good too, but you need to have an additional income. And so that's what I'm doing now. Right now, I'm creating content. I'm a content creator. And by actually being a content creator first, I went and actually built a brand, like I said, a travel brand to 600,000 followers, 130 million views, create hundreds of viral videos. And I'm helping 9-to-5ers be able to create content and utilize AI tools to make money, to make an additional income. And if they're able to do it full time, fantastic. But this is not about, hey, let's go and quit your job. No. If you have a job, keep the job. But it's also good to have an additional income or several additional income streams that you're utilizing through content with AI. And so that's what I'd be able to do so that people can have more options and they're not just reliant on a company that can fire them next week just because of AI. So look, this video, there was a lot that I went through. But please don't waste time by saying, oh, great information, bye. You have to actually apply this. You have to actually do the work. So look, if you're interested and you want to be able to do this more and actually apply it, look at the link in my description, and we go over actually how to apply this with accountability and keep you on track, because this is a lot and you could get lost with this, especially if you're not really accustomed to content creation or especially the obtaining clients process, because you could probably get this done, right? I mean, this is going to take some time. You could probably get this done, but the obtaining clients, you need to be strategic about this. So look, if you're interested and you want to learn more, click on the link bio. And if you want to know more about how to be able to make money online with AI tools, then follow my content. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.